Let's talk Sunday night football. It's a must-win game for the Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Houston Texans. Kansas City will be a 3.5-point home favorite. The total sits at just 42, and Houston comes in with a record of 7-5 straight up, 6-6 against the spread. They're 3-3 on the road. They're coming off a 20-16 win on the road at Indianapolis. And before that, they beat the Buffalo Bills at home on Thursday Night Football by a score of 23-19. I bet on Houston in both of those games. This team has the number one ranked total defense in the NFL. They're only giving up 266 yards per game. And I like what I see from the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud is back. The Texans have won 4 straight games. Stroud threw for 276 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick on 23 of 35 passing at Indianapolis. He did look pretty sharp in his return, though, and he's going to have a big game against Kansas City if the Texans are going to get the upset here. Houston lost by a score of 23-14 in last year's playoffs, the divisional round against Kansas City in Kansas City. They actually outgained the Chiefs 336-212 in total yards in that game. They had the edge in first downs, 18-14. They had an edge in time of possession, 33-26 to 26-34. So how come they lost that game by 11 points or 9 points, sorry? Well, penalties, 8 penalties for 82 yards. And that has me wondering, have you guys seen that UTEP study? UTEP did a study on the penalties for the Chiefs' opponents. And we're going to talk about that a little later when we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. But we will talk about the Chiefs. Before we do, I'd like to tell you about a promotion we have available at Wager Talk this weekend. The Weekend Warrior Package. This is the best package money can buy at Wager Talk. We'll give you all my college football plays this Saturday, all my NFL on Sunday. We'll even throw in Monday Night Football, and all for one low price of $49. And I got to tell you, this is the weekend to take advantage of it. It might be the last weekend this package is available with the conference championship games in college football. And I have not one, but 2 big plays this Saturday. I got a 5% play on the SEC championship game and a 4% play on the Big Ten championship game. And I absolutely love the angles I'm using in both these picks. And I think my analysis is phenomenal. And I'm sure that you would agree if you take the time to read it. But before you read it, you got to sign up for the Weekend Warrior for $49. As always, there is no purchase necessary, and you are more than welcome to tune in just for the free picks. I do ask that you take the time to smash that like button because that really helps me out. And I also ask that if you've got anything to say to me about this game, any other NFL game, college football, anything else in the sports world you want to talk about, hit me up in the comments below. I get a ton of feedback from the viewers, and I love every minute of it. I respond to every comment, or at least I try to respond to every comment. And I want to go through the comments that we've been getting this week because I think the tough results this Thanksgiving really got people, thinking kind of crazy. There's some crazy talk going out there. So let's have a look at what people are saying. This guy says, damage control lately with all the people calling out the games that are rigged. Currently, the NBA, MLB, UFC, and even the NFL are under investigation for illegal gambling. If you think that the games are 100% played without shenanigans, then you're fooling yourself. Of course, someone who handicaps sports for a living will never admit to what it is. If you're saying this about me, you don't know me very well. You haven't been watching my videos. I just mentioned the UTEP study, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment. I've been known to talk about Scott Foster, the extender. I've been known to make bets based on that. I've been known to make bets based on umpire assignments. I've been critical of guys like Angel Hernandez. I've talked about the disgusting free throw disparity for the LA Lakers during a 3-year period since LeBron James joined the team. I'm not afraid to talk about games that are rigged. I just don't think it's the bookmakers doing the rigging. The bookmakers have a foolproof system. They take even money on both sides. They pull in a 10% rake. They walk away. They don't need to worry about who wins. Dope dealers say, don't get high off your own supply. Bookmakers say, don't gamble. They don't need to gamble. They win no matter who wins. They're not rigging the games. And as far as NFL games being scripted, you think about what you see in a daily NFL game, the helmet catch by David Tyree, the Fail Mary in Seattle a few years back, the Music City Miracle, the Des Bryant catch or no catch. How do you script that? Like, you honestly think you can script that stuff? I don't. And if these guys are scripting that, fire everybody in Hollywood, replace them with football players, because they're the best actors in the world if they can script that shit. Let's see what everybody else is saying here. Accept it for what it is. You're gambling. Try to beat the game. Very wise words from this fella right here. And if you believe in conspiracy theories, I'm telling you right now, if you think games are rigged, bet Texas Tech this weekend and bet Virginia over Duke, because the college football playoff committee is going to have a nightmare on their hands if BYU wins or if Duke wins. So maybe even a money line parlay, Virginia, Texas Tech. If you truly believe the games are rigged, there's no way those teams are losing, because it will be a nightmare for the college football playoff committee. And if you think I'm trying to run cover for people fixing games, you're talking to the wrong man. The wrong man. Let's get back into the game. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, who I've been calling cheaters for the last 2 years. I don't know where you guys have been. The Chiefs are 6-6, 5-7 against the spread. They're 5-1 at home. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Their last win was at home against Indianapolis. That win required overtime, and they won by a score of 23-20. The Chiefs have injuries on their offensive line. Their starting left tackle is out. The right tackle and the right guard are questionable. This Chiefs team doesn't have the talent it had when they were winning Super Bowls. Their running back room is very unimpressive. Kareem Hunt, at 30 years old, a shell of his former self, now looks to be the RB1. Patrick Mahomes actually has more rushing yards than Isaiah Pacheco. Now, Pacheco's missed a few games, but I don't think that's any excuse. The receiving core is a little bit better since they've gotten healthier, but this team just, if you switch the logos on the helmets, you just give the Chiefs resume and the Chiefs stats against the Texans with a winning record, a better record, and the number 1 defense. Are you really wanting to lay 3.5 points with the home team here? I don't think so. Kansas City, according to projections, has just a 37% chance to make the playoffs after losing to Dallas on Thanksgiving. You have to wonder how motivated these guys are going to be when they have pop star wives, State Farm contracts for ad money coming in, multiple Super Bowl rings already. It just doesn't look like it's the Chiefs' year. And after they failed to beat Dallas on Thanksgiving, there's no way I'm laying 3.5 points with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now let's talk about that UTEP study, because as I mentioned, UTEP did a study on whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs were getting favorable calls in their favor and why that might be. And they concluded decisively, based on the data, that financial pressure from the league resulted in Kansas City's opponents getting penalized for things like pass interference, roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness, late hits out of bounds when Mahomes is scrambling up the sidelines. All these are judgment calls. So it's the purview of the referee, whatever they want to call. And statistically, this was hurting the opponents of Kansas City more than any other teams in NFL games. This study wasn't just about the NFL. They found that financial incentives skewed the results in finance, politics, business, and that's no surprise to me. Life is rigged. That's just the way it is. As that man said, play the game. If you think it's rigged, follow the money. Bet in that direction. And in that case, we're not going to take the Kansas City Chiefs here laying 3.5 points. I'm going to take the Houston Texans plus the 3.5. Wouldn't doubt if Kansas City wins this one by a field goal again. And I like Mahomes over 3.5 rushing yards. This Texans defense is too good for him to have an easy time moving the ball. I think he's going to be under pressure and forced to scramble. And 3.5 rushing attempts is too low in my opinion. So if you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.